How old is Andy? How old are you?
26.
Oh, damn. Okay. Joe, you having trouble with like just feeling tired, like recovering?
Not recovering. I'm just really tired all the time as far as like I'm always sleepy, but every single time I do a show,
Hmm.
this is what happens. I don't feel like I truly like sleep or rest until maybe about like 8 weeks post show. So I stay lean for so long. Like I hold my body fat low for so long to get the most out of the rebound. So I never
Yeah,
truly like feel rested, I guess, because I think the lower your body fat is, your body won't let you like get into like deep sleep. It always wants you to like eat. So
yeah.
like I'll eat, my blood sugar will like crash. I'll want to nap, get up, do it all over again. So like, I'm tired all day.
I'm starting to think my like post show, like you said. I feel so shitty sometimes. I'm starting to think maybe I gotta pull like a Jordan and then not like maybe not do the rebound like right after the show. Maybe just rest and then it's gonna be hard to stay because Jordan, because then you gotta stay lean with no gear for another 8 weeks. That's tough to do as well.
There's a few other factors too, though. Depending on what you did during the prep. Literally, it's funny you're bringing this up because I don't know if you watched Chris Tuttle with uh what's his name, Milos. They just did a podcast about what they feel about the post show rebound, and Chris
Mm-hmm.
Tuttle talks about depending on how the guys feel is how long he'll do a rebound for, if he even does one, and if he doesn't, there's reasons for it because he wants them to start feeling good again because their hormones are kind of all over the place. So he'll
Mm-hmm.
bring the gear down to like TRT level. Do you need something? He'll bring the gear down to TRT level and or up the food and kind of like just get the body back into like equilibrium, feeling good again. But he'll keep them lean,
Yeah.
but at a healthy lean percentage, I guess, for them to grow out of.
Yeah.
His athletes don't get soft. They
No,
never
they
get
they, they
soft.
do. I think I may have to go with that approach. It's like in the past, it's like I would feel shitty, but I would still make a lot of progress. So I'm like, I don't give a fuck if I'll feel shitty if I'm making progress. But now I'm like, I find it hard to believe I'm gonna make progress if like everything is shitty. If my appetite is shit and my training is shit and my energy is shit, I'm like, I might have to take a little, maybe cut it shorter, maybe do like 5-6 weeks instead of 8-10 weeks, something because
Are you talking about like as soon as the show's over, you stay on cycle and you push like you do like you can pretty much continue your prep. You don't like get on TRT immediately. You talk about like you do like an extra push phase like for 6 to 8 weeks.
yeah, but basically, what I did is I took like 2 weeks off this time and kind of trained at like 50% and didn't pin anything for like another 2 weeks and then started like after 2 weeks. But yeah, basically just after the show, get back on cycle. You slowly push food up. You stay lean, and you try to progress as much as possible. If you're, I mean, Joe's preps are hard too, though. But hey, you can't compare yourself. I think everybody's different. I think after the show, I'm just too. I'm just not in a good position to
Wait,
make
so
any progress.
just to clarify, like what you guys are talking about that you don't want to do is anymore is like you are still on a blast immediately post show for another additional say 6 to 8 weeks versus like as soon as the
Basically,
show's over, you're on TRT and like you're in a health phase.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never done
That's
that. I've never done the other one. Like I've never done like uh post show and then I'm immediately, right
uh,
into a blast.
what do you do?
I always just get right back on TRT, like 200 migs, maybe add the GH back in a couple of days later,
Mm-hmm.
and then just keep the food like relatively low. Obviously, bump up the baseline diet a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like just with the added food, your body is already so sensitive just from the added food on the base diet and just getting into the gym and kind of like bringing your body back to life a little bit. I always look my best post show, like 6 to 8 weeks on no drugs. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, like now 8 weeks post show, I can get my lab work done. Lab work comes back good. Okay, now I have the green light to push a cycle. So think of it like your body's fresh, you're still super lean, your receptors are fresh, your blood work is good. Now you jump into a blast and you're like primed to grow versus like the other way, you're still primed to grow because you've been in a deficit for so long. So just by staying on gear and increasing that food, that's when you blow up like how Joe does. But then once that 6 to 8 weeks is over, then you're like really ran down because you did like a 20-week prep plus another 8-week push. So that's like 6 months straight of just like hammering drugs and then also going from one extreme to the next, being like peak off season to peeled to the bone to adding on hella lean tissue. So it's like I feel like that's a lot harder on your body. So when you say that method might not work for you, I could see why.
Yeah, I don't. It seems to work the best for younger guys, or Joe's bodybuilding age is still young, so it's like he's like well, his actual age is young too, but he's only been taking gear not that long, so I think he'll have a lot better results doing that than somebody who's been on gear a longer time like myself.
How's the post show been, Joe? You have any cheat meals yet, or just higher food?
No, no cheat meals. I'm still super hungry. My food's not high, but it's not low. So like my meals are at like 225 grams of rice. So that's not a lot for me. But it's not 75 or 150 anymore, and then protein's always at 10 ounces a meal. And my cream of rice meals are at like 100 and then 125 post workout. So there's still, my food's pretty low considering.
Just giving the body like what it needs, which is
Yes.
good. And you look so peeled like in your pictures, because you're about 2 weeks post show now, or is it 3?
3.
So 3 weeks post show, and you're still like in the 260s, right?
I was 269 this morning.
Yeah, and you still look like super, super lean. So in my mind, like if you're able to ride that out for another like 4 to 6 weeks, that just sets you up for like a really good push off-season phase to where you're still really, really lean. Because I feel like if you push to like say 290 and then you jump into like your off-season blast, you can't really go much higher than there,
So typically Justin just keeps pushing me. He doesn't put a number on it. He goes by how I look. So he pushes me, and once I start to finally start getting I never get soft at all during this phase, but I start to lose a little bit of my lines. That's when he pulls back. So he usually pushes me to about the high 280s. And as lean as I am right now, I only have like 10 pounds to go. He won't let me get past 290 this year. He said off season. He wants me to kind of just grow into that 290.
Just
no,
quality. I like that idea too. Just focus on building quality,
Yeah, he never goes by the scale. He literally just watches my body week to week and uses his eyes. And I have a fucking video that actually I haven't posted yet. I keep forgetting to ask her to send it, but like it's my leg day video. And seeing the detail in my fucking legs that I have when I'm working out and how dug out my hammies are at like 265 to 270, hovering between there. That's pretty wild. I've never looked like that this big. So, I don't see any reason to get past 290 this year as far as like staying tight like that. I really don't need to get back to 300 pounds.
Because we talked about, like, if you are able to stay super tight, let's say just hypothetically you do, I don't know, Pittsburgh and New York next year, like let's say something around May. That means you're probably going to start prep here in like February, March, whenever it may be. But if you start prep and you're already super lean, it's like it makes for such easier prep. Like food is going to stay high. Cardio is not going to have to get high because you're already really lean as it is, versus having to be like, okay, we got to pull off 45, 50 pounds. If you stay within What was your stage weight? 255? 250?
No, I was 247.
So 247, let's say the heaviest you get is like say 275, which sounds really light. I know you're only a couple pounds away, but you're like the same, you're like a little bit softer than what you are now. Imagine how much easier of a prep that's going to be knowing you only got to pull off 20 pounds in 16 weeks versus you got to pull off 40 pounds, you know?
Yeah, the only issue with by stopping at like 275 or whatever like that is I think as much size as I need to put on my legs, I'm gonna need a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're trying to grow the shit out of my legs, and I'm trying to bring up my arms a little bit more too,
Mm-hmm.
to really solidify that X frame.
Do you notice when you're like in the high 280s, 290s that your mobility is fucked up? Like when you train, is it like harder to squat and do certain movements versus if you're like 275, you feel better when you're training?
Well, you're talking about a different body though that I was last year, and then the year before that. So like the first time I got to those weights, yes, it was terrible. The
Mm-hmm.
second time I got to it, it wasn't as bad, and then this time I'm where I'm at right now. I feel fine, like completely fine. But yes, once I get to the higher side of things, like the last year I got to 298,
Mm-hmm.
304 in a gym scale. I was like barely able to tie my shoes and shit kind of thing. So yeah, my mobility was shitty. But last year, it was interesting. We weren't supposed to get that heavy, but he just decided to keep pushing the food once I got to a certain point. Because the rebound, I ended up at 288 pounds after that show. So the rest of the year, I pulled back the food a little bit and then went down back to like 270, 275. And then he pushed me again back to that almost 300-pound mark.
Damn.
So he just goes again based on how I look. And so like even sometimes I'll tell Paul, like, hey, I think I'm done. And then he'll up the food again. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I guess this is what we're doing.
Yeah, he never has one size fits all plans because anytime I talk to y'all, y'all plans are what you're working with the same coach. Y'all plans were always completely different from mine, right? Because intuitively, like we said post show, he would never take my rebound as long as y'all. He would never try to keep me as lean as Joe because Joe was able to perform still at that lean body weight, and I'm not able to perform and recover at that, like being that lean. So intuitively, he would give me a little more food a little faster, and he would keep it a little shorter because if you're eating more food, you can't rebound as long, right? Because you would get fatter a little faster. So he's very intuitive with that. He never just does things for no reason or just says this is the way I do it and just give you right. So it's always by the check-ins.
But
if he
that's the
likes what
thing
he
too.
sees.
I don't think that there's any best way or one way that is better than the other. I just think it's kind of like, for example, I did this, and it's like it's all I really care about. But there's no reason to dismiss any other approach. I see them all work kind of like training styles, right? For me, I kind of like this approach. I'm gonna give you a different perspective. It's when I do the rebound thing, I don't feel the best, but I don't expect to feel the best coming out of a show. Being so lean and staying so tight and stuff as my hormones kind of get back and trying to like put on size and stuff. But kind of like you guys said, your body's so sensitive, and I'll gradually get back to feeling good again. And then, because I'm not running as much as I was running, I'm still running like a base test and 2 compounds, but nothing like I was for the show. And what I liked about it is I'm like going from one prep into a different version of a prep. It's like a prep just with more food, and it's like reversing. Like my performance is getting better and better and better, and I'm feeling better and better and better. so that when I come off everything, it's time to go in my health phase. I'll go back on TRT, but I'm already feeling good going into TRT. I don't feel run down. I feel as far as like my appetite's kind of gone because once I get up here for food again, it's not like gone. Like I feel like puking, but it's high. Like the food's high already. So right away he tapers that back and gets any excess off me, lets all the inflammation come down. I actually feel healthy, and then I'll start doing cheat meals, and I feel kind of like I get a really long break, and going into the off season with my family and stuff, just feeling good.
Yeah.
But then mentally, I'm also getting a break from bodybuilding in general, so I don't have to be bodybuilder 24/7 once that period of time ends, and I can be kind of normal or whatever you want to call that. So
Yeah.
it helps with the balance of my life. So for 6 months out of the year, I'm one of the best bodybuilders ever. And then for the rest of the year, as long as I'm not on prep, I'm kind of like present with my family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I
Yeah.
guess.
I personally think that's important. I don't think being a bodybuilder is an excuse to not be a grown ass man as well. I think I think you can do both. There are gonna be times where your family might have to pick up the slack for a few weeks, but if you're at a point where you think that just because you're a bodybuilder you can disregard real life, I don't think that's any way to live life.
Did you guys watch the last podcast? It was Compton, Total, and Milos. It just got posted like 2 days ago on IFBB AMA.
They post.
You haven't
They
watched
post.
it? You guys haven't watched it?
They post like snippets, or like they post like the actual podcast.
No, they post snippets on YouTube, but to watch like the full episode, you have to go on the IFBB AMA. Like they have a website. I watch all that.
I watched a 30-minute video. There was a clip on YouTube.
So the whole podcast was like 55 minutes long, and they were actually talking about Joe and his wife, and Milos was like, oh, obviously Milos wants everyone to compete all year round. And he's like, oh, Joe doesn't have a visa. He should have did this. He should keep competing and all this. And Justin was like, well, look, like he has a 3-month-old baby. And, I think, we achieved what we wanted to. We made our mark. Everybody knows his name. And now, like, I think there's an important aspect of him just being able to, like, kind of get out of that prep mode, be more present with his, family and his wife, and spend that quality time. And Justin was like, it's a very cool dynamic because when apparently, I don't want to get too personal, but Justin said it on the other podcast, and he said that you had texted him like, hey bro, I'm going to be a dad. And Justin was like, whoa, like that's awesome. That's amazing. But also Justin wasn't sure because obviously having a kid is a lot. And so Justin was initially thinking, oh, maybe we'll just take the whole year off. Then that way you could focus on being a dad. And your wife, Joe, was like, no, you're not taking the year off. You're going to compete. Like you were already doing this before we met. I don't want to change that. We'll figure something out. We'll make it work. And I thought that was like really, really cool to hear that backstory,
Yeah, because I initially, when I found out, I told Ashley, I was like, hey, I guess I'll just talk to Justin, and we'll take the year off. And I guess Justin would have done the same thing as me because he's the one who suggested that to me after I told Ashley that already. And then she obviously said that, and I was like, you're sure? Because it's going to take a lot of me. Like, this isn't just some walk in the park, And she said that. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to Justin. Justin said that. And I told him, well, I'm telling you, this didn't come from me. I didn't beg her for it or nothing. I didn't ask. She told me she wanted this. So, and then after he said, okay, well, you know what? We're going to go into this like full throttle with the play it by ear kind of concept, like where if it gets a little too difficult or too much on you guys, like we'll pull out of the show. Mm-hmm. So pretty much, let's not sign up for the show for a little bit.
Make sure. So, can I say something real quick, man? Mm-hmm.
No, Beatty, you can't say anything, bro.
like okay, so I felt like some of the previous bodybuilders, they mean the best. They mean the best when they say like, do more shows because like they want to see you compete, right? So it's all love. It's coming from a good place. But this idea of doing all these shows
Oh,
because in
bro,
the
I was
90s,
just, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel the same way, bro. Like
it's so
a lot of the
ridiculous.
guys in the 90s, like I love their feedback. They're OGs. I respect them. I respect everyone that came before me in the game. But someone like Milos, right? He's like, oh, well, I did, 50 shows a year. And I'm like, well, bro, like, how do you,
Bro,
okay, someone like Joe, he needs to bring up his legs. Like, you're never going to be able to improve a body part by competing all year round. And also, that's probably not the healthiest thing to do either,
bro,
you know?
it's like okay. There's so many things wrong with that. First of all, just because in the 90s you were in your early 20s and you were able to pay 400 a month for rent in Venice, and then you could do 50 shows and lose all of them. It's like this is not what everybody wants to do. Joe doesn't want to just compete to compete. First of all, well, I probably think he would have won these shows coming up, but just in general, right? This idea that just do 50 shows and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. Yes, it does. Like most bodybuilders don't want to compete just to say, well, I stood next to fucking Flex Wheeler. Like
Well, there's
I don't
also,
think Joe gives a fuck about just getting to stand next to fucking like oh look, I have a picture. Look, me and Nick Walker. Like motherfuckers trying to win. So he's not about to just do every show just for the fuck of it, first of all. And people have lives, right? Like I said, rent is not 400 a month anymore to live in Venice and do whatever we want to do. And we're not in our early 20s. People are turning pro a little older. Health wise too. You say, oh, you need to bring up your legs, and then you do 50 shows and your legs are the same, and then people critique you. Oh, you got to work on your pro to get. When are you doing these things, bro? If you're doing every show, and then if you have health issues now, you should have just pulled back. When can you do these things if you're just mindlessly just jumping in every show just to say it doesn't even make sense, bro.
there's also a financial aspect to this. It's like, yes, okay, it sounds amazing that like, oh yeah, let's just travel the world and compete every single weekend and just, not a care in the world. But it's like, most of us, I don't know about Joe, but like myself, like I'm paying out of my own pocket for my flights, my Airbnb, my gear, like that shit is not cheap. Like I'm blessed enough to be able to afford it and do it for sure. But like, okay, you do one show, you're spending, however many thousands of dollars on just gear alone. Okay, then you also are spending however many hundreds or thousands of dollars on Airbnb. You still got to pay for tanning. If you're gonna go, like, I'm gonna get a Gilco package, that's $500. Oh, flights, that's $400 or $500 depending on where you're flying.
Joe not gonna be paying for a flight for very much longer.
But yeah,
no, but that's expensive regardless.
That's for say one show. So let's say you do 3 shows. That's 3 flights, 3 Airbnbs. It's like, bro, like, and if you're not winning, like you said, let's say you're going and you're getting second call outs every time, like it's kind of hard to justify spending all that money to not win. It's like maybe you're getting second call. It's like maybe shut it down, save some money, take the time to get better. That way, when you come back, you can be competitive and win. That'd be like if Joe last year gets 15th at the Cow, he's like, oh, I'm going to hit every other show too. I'm going to try to get like top 10. It's like, he's not delusional like that. He knows, no, I'm not ready yet. I need to take the time, go back to the drawing board and like take some time off. And that's exactly what he did. And now he's in a position where any show he does, he's going to be in the mix.
And let's go back to the 90s. Who was actually winning, right? The Ronnies and the Dorians and the Sean Rays, they weren't doing 500 shows.
Ronnie would take 4 months off training, wouldn't go to the gym for 4 straight months.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so what if Flex actually did take time off and let his body recover and come in peeled? He probably would do even better, right? Because Flex did a lot of shows, so it's like, it's not like it made you a better bodybuilder doing that. You just did more shows. I mean, like what, you know what I mean? Like, if it makes...
Yeah, like look at all the great, Olympians. Like Phil Heath, he never did an Arnold when he was winning his Olympias. He did one show a year, and it was the Olympia. Like you're lucky now if you get like Samson, he did the Arnold. That's cool. But like if you're Mr. Olympia, your goal is to like get better and retain your title, not I'm gonna go do the New York Pro. I'm gonna go do this show. I'm gonna try to do 50 shows. It's like no, you're focused on winning the Olympia. Like winning all these little $10,000 shows don't mean anything.
The goal for most bodybuilders is to get to a point where you need to do the least shows possible, where all you have to do is the Olympia and maybe the Arnold. That's it. Like nobody wants to have to do 50 shows to qualify for like that. This is nobody. Even at the national level, I don't want to have to qualify for the USA's. Right. The goal is to never have to qualify, to just be a top guy and just go straight into it. Like you don't want to run yourself down. So to me, it's a ludicrous idea to think that the more shows, the better. If it works for you, like Derek, okay, let me hit this Pittsburgh. It's a plan. If it works for you, good. Collect the money. But just to do every show, just to collect some money or be seen. Joe was seen. It didn't take him 50
and
shows.
There's also not like the what is it called? Like the Grand Prix. There's not like this these overseas show where there's 5 shows in 1 week and you go there for the month and you do 30 shows. That doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Like,
Oh, I was watching the episode and they mentioned that. Oh, I think it was Joe because they was talking about the look. Oh, you can't peak for multiple shows, and it's like, have you seen those Grand Prix? Motherfuckers weren't staying in shape. Like they
no. They're like they were like going to restaurants and shit and like drinking and they were just like all having fun like on stage, like you know what I mean?
Well, remember when I said to Milos, because he said that you could do a bunch of shows back to back, right? Or like with extended period of time in between. I said, well, you got to remember what did your prep look like? Because like I get pretty big in the off season, and it's like, yeah, you have to run yourself down to get into shape, and then you hold that shape. But it's like, say you're like Andy, right, where he started off his prep really lean. He could probably do a longer string of shows with longer duration of time because he didn't have to kill himself to get in shape.
Exactly,
So it's like, Milos, you're in shape all the time. Of course you didn't have to, you could do this for a long period of time. But someone like me is a completely different situation here.
Yeah.
But then the question was, why put on a body fat? Well, now you don't have to put on a body fat. So next year, if you needed to, you could do more shows. But it's a process. And Milos also wasn't able to put on as much tissue as you. Maybe because he didn't put on any body fat, right? Or maybe he didn't put, get so. It's not a dig because, like I said, he wants to see you on stage. I mean, we all do because it's fun. But there's some planning that has to go into it. You can't just say, even if you had a visa, it doesn't make any difference. Like just to jump in the
people want to see me on stage better though.
Exactly.
Like why do I want to give the same look every time just to step on stage? It makes zero sense to me. Like I compete to win. Mm-hmm. I took a long time between shows because I went from 15th to 2nd for a reason, because I took time to get to that point to better my physique. So it's just like, unless you're fucking in the mix to win, and I'm talking at least in the top 3 where you're probably gonna win a show that year. Why even compete? Mm-hmm. Like multiple shows. Obviously, you're gonna compete to see where you line up.
Yeah.
If you're fucking 15th, why would I compete in the next show? Fuck that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, like Ken. We all want to see Ken compete. We love Ken and we like his physique. But like, why didn't you do more shows? It's like, I know why, because Ken wants to win. Like it's cool. It's cool for us to say, yeah, you got top 5. You think Ken wants top 5? Ken wants to win. So it's like outside looking, it's like, Bo, you would have been top 5 the next show. I'm sure he's aware, but the goal is he wants to go back so he could come back and not be top 5, so he could be top 1. So you have to look at the mindset. Okay, if you're in the 90s and you do the Olympia, and there happens to be 5 shows after the Olympia, and you guys are having fun and eating burgers, and you would. I'm sure you guys would do those shows because at that point it's just for fun. But we're talking about pre-Olympia shows. That's business. That's business moves. That's not fun. That's not for fun, right? So I'm sure all you guys would love to do 5 shows and collect checks after the Olympia, and and come in 50%, 50%. And, I remember you would see Dexter. Dexter's still peeled, and everybody was kind of like getting soft, and Dexter's just still peeled because Dexter's Dexter, and he could do whatever he wants. So that's one of those things.
Is Paul gonna jump on or no?
Shit.
Did they? I don't think they sent the link.
My bad. I didn't send him a link. I didn't know you were in the. I got him right now.
Yeah, I want because I have some of those questions, and before I ask some of those questions, I want Paul to jump on here because I want to hear some of his answers too.
So before we get into those questions, then
I'll probably send a link through text, maybe.
yeah.
I didn't know we were doing 2:30 until I woke up from my nap.
I just texted Paul, but so meanwhile, let's look at Samson.
Oh yeah, this fucking guest posing, man.
I was impressed. I gotta be honest, I'm even more impressed that he could move like that at fucking 3 whatever he weighs.
Well, he's never looked this good, this peeled 6 weeks out.
No, and you got to factor in for these like West African guys, you don't really look this good until like you hit stage because the amount of water they hold and stuff like that, the skin thinness. So the fact that he looks this lean visually, he's really fucking lean. For him to look like this with his skin type and complexion and everything, that means the guy is really in shape,
I gotta give my boy Ivan Bodybuilding some shit though, because you guys know him, right? He's part of he's on your guys' team. Well, I watch a lot of his videos, and he was like recapping this video last night, and he was like, "I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Samson is like a lot smaller than normal, and he usually looks a lot bigger, and he looks really small and flat for 6 weeks out." And like, I commented, I was like, well, yeah, bro, he should be flat at 6 weeks out. He's not going to be blasting full and round and
that's
we don't want him to.
Exactly. We don't. his number one nitpick is he needs to be more peeled, and he is on track to be the most peeled he's ever been. And like, what more could you ask for?
Ivan is right. Like, he does look smaller than in the past guest posing, but yeah, I mean that's what we've been asking for him. Like we want him. If you're 10 pounds lighter, well, you are 10 pounds smaller. You won't look full until you carb up, right? But we want him to get as flat as he possibly can before he fills out, because in the past when he's just blasting full and he goes on stage, you don't see these deep lines, So he's not wrong, but there's a reason. It's done on purpose, right?
Yeah, exactly. That he's pulling off the fat and he's getting as peeled as he can, and that requires being flat,
Yeah.
So, but it's just kind of funny because I feel like there's such a double standard, because if you were to get on stage right now 6 weeks out and he's massive but he's hella soft, everyone's going to be like, oh, Samson's behind, he's not going to be ready. And then it's like, bro, sometimes it's never good enough, And then he comes on stage like ahead, he's peeled, and now people are like, oh, he looks too small. It's like, come on, man.
With social media.
What my worry is, and it's funny, I told. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you good. You good, Joe.
Want me to speak?
Yeah. You're good.
I was gonna say my worry is seeing Samson, right? Wait, am I able to talk or no?
No, you're good. No,
you guys hear me?
Yeah.
They're the lag.
Okay.
They're the lag. I think they're the lag.
So I was gonna say there's a lag. Oh, I see. Can you guys hear me? Hold on, let me see something. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. You're good, Joe.
Can you guys actually hear me?
Yes.
Okay. talking to Andy about this earlier, and I was like, I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but as far as what Ivan was saying, I know what he's saying because obviously he's 6 weeks out, right? My worry is that all that tissue in his back and stuff, even his leg, they're starting to get thinned out, right? And I'm hoping it doesn't hurt his overall final look, pushing the condition to this point. Because I don't know, especially if it's his first time getting there. I know the first time I got peeled, I lost a lot of tissue. So I don't know how it's going to affect his final look on stage, if that's going to mess with his placing.
That is a possibility. We see with Andrew. Anytime Andrew comes in peeled, he is like lighter in the legs. But he has to try, because if he doesn't try, he'll never be the guy that everybody wants him to be. Because if he doesn't try, every year it's gonna be, oh, you would have won, but you're just not hard enough. So if it doesn't work out, he just won't do it again. But he had to try it.
Oh
He just
no, he
got to.
definitely has to. He definitely has to try. But that's where I told Andy, I'm like, I'm gonna have a controversial statement here because I'm like, I know he looks great, but he looks great as far as this is the best condition he's ever gonna be. But is that gonna hurt his look? I don't know. It's one of those like I'm trying to make this shit interesting for myself too, because I
Yeah,
want to see Samson succeed. But I've also
yeah.
seen a lot of people do what Samson do at like with his race
Yeah.
where it hurts him.
Quentin, Quentin has it. So, but this is also why, like, it's annoying. I'm sure, for the bodybuilders, when people just say just come and peeled, and it's like, I know that sounds simple, and for some people it is simple. I don't think Hadi has to sit there and be like, okay, do I push full into? I think Hadi just comes and peeled, and that's just. But that's not the case for everybody. It's just not. So you have to understand, these are the best in the world. They've thought about these things long. Samson has thought about this long before. You know what I'm saying? Years ago.
Yep.
It's just a calculated decision. So there's nothing you can tell these people that they don't already know. When you tell people, "Oh, your calves are small, your arms are small," they know. They know their calves are small. They
Well,
know their arms are small.
Samson, I feel like he's going to take up the most real estate on stage. Pound for pound, it's him and Nick that have the most actual density and tissue. And Nick's going to come in peeled, but I feel like Samson's critique every single year is like, oh, he needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more. And we've never seen him fully stripped to the bone. So, like, I agree with what you guys are saying. Like, if he loses his legs or he loses that pop, then that's not good. But I just can't see it. I feel like he has so much tissue. I don't think they're going to push down so far to where it's going to affect his look that bad. I
So
think if anything, it's going to help him.
From what I saw from the back, that's where my
yeah.
statements are coming from because I'm seeing his
Right.
back starting to come down. And
Now,
even through the hamstrings and the adductors and stuff on his back poses, maybe it's the angle, maybe because he's not standing next to anybody, but that's where I was like, oh shit. Yes,
I
he's
think
going to be fucking peeled, but I don't know if it's going to hurt because his back was the issue. He brought it up, but also couldn't push conditioning. And now I'm seeing his back kind of go the opposite way.
Well, like Beatty said, it is kind of a balance because, like, sure, his back or his back shots might look a little bit on the flatter side right now, but also, like, he's not fully peeled yet, so he has to get there at some point. So it's like, what good is like, oh, look, I put on all this size on my back, but he's super soft from the back. It's like he'd probably rather be harder, and he'll still have improvements, but he needs to get peeled regardless. He's not there yet.
as long as they're monitoring it, right? As long as they're not saying, what you can't do for some body types is, you can't say, okay, at all costs, get peeled as possible. It sounds good to say that, but in reality, you don't want to do that. I've been there. Quint's been there. There's more people who've been there, and you want to be as peeled as you look good at. So at this point, at 6 weeks out, he's still in the safe zone. Now, if they continue to push and not and not prioritize. He seems to be training hard still, so the training performance seems to be fine, which is important. If he's able to perform, train, and not get any flatter than this, right? Let's say if this is the flattest, and he filled out, goes back down foot. I think he'll be able to pull off. If he allows himself to lose that tissue, like Quint did, it won't be standing next to guys like Nick and Hadi, who have the muscle and also are shredded. It probably won't be the best look, But I don't think he's in the red zone yet. I think this is just a depleted look, and he should be fine. But another factor, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another factor is diuretics. Like they've kind of said it without fully saying it. Milos has flat out just said it like that. He doesn't want to take diuretics, right? So before I kind of insinuated that he's gonna finally do what he has to do, right? Now diuretics should be tricky because that's something that can flatten you out a lot too. If you've never used it and you're figuring it out now, that's very tricky. Joe knows about that too. Like Joe doesn't use diuretics, because of that, right?
Yeah, it flattens me out really bad.
Now I believe Samson does need diuretics. Just how much, this is going to be the tricky thing to figure out because you overdo it, you're gone. So, hey, it makes it interesting. And what do the judges want? What do the judges want? Are the judges going to say we like this more streamlined, shredded look, or are they going to say, oh man, we want that fullness back? You don't.
Yeah,
I mean, it happened to Nick in 2022 Arnold. I mean, he was like the most peeled he's ever been, but he was like he didn't have that same freak factor, and then Samson ended up beating him. So it's like there's definitely a limit to how far you can push. It's not a glute show. It's not a conditioning show. It's a bodybuilding show. So conditioning is obviously extremely important, but not without the combination of everything else,
Yeah, but when you think about true bodybuilding, man, that still kind of rubs me a little. If somebody like the way Nick was peeled that show, and he wasn't like small, bro. In my head, I'm like, that has to count. That has to count for something. Sometimes, Samson did look really good that show, but it's hard for me. Like, if I was a judge, it would be hard for me to see somebody that peeled and be like, "You're too peeled, bro. You're too peeled, bro. Get out of here, buddy." Like it would be hard for me to do that. I would always lean more to that side personally. Even I prefer the shape guys, but I would never give it to Flex over Dorian. He's just not shredded enough. So it's like I still feel like it counts for something. If Flex was as shredded as Dorian, it's Flex all day. Mm-hmm. It's just that it's still bodybuilding. So I think he's making the right choice, man. You gotta. As Mr. Olympia, man, you're gonna have to be shredded, and maybe you won't be as big, but
I mean, look what that was actually. I misspoke. That was at the 2023 Arnold that happened, but I was gonna say, look what happened to Samson a couple months ago at the Arnold. Like he wasn't as peeled as Derek, and he lost. So in his mind, they're probably like, yeah, like we can be beaten if we're not fully, nailed, stripped dry to the bone. So like, let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. We're gonna.
I just want to make this statement first. Doesn't matter what the fuck he looks like right now at 6 weeks out. It's what happens on game day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
100%.
I'm not making my decision right now based on what the fuck I'm just looking at. Like I know what I look like 6 weeks out, and I can look stringy as fuck sometimes. And you give me a fucking bit of carbs, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's fucking full of the house. So it's like it doesn't really matter what he just showed. However, again, for the sake of argument and just to talk. That's all I'm fucking saying.
We should put in because the pod gets so much engagement. We should say, all right, guys, what are your opinions? Is Samson coming to win? Is he looking like he's at his best, or are you guys starting to get a little bit worried that maybe he's sucking down too much and he's going to get beat by someone and that's more freaky? Put your comment below.
Especially a new body, right? When you're pushing these levels with conditioning, now, obviously a coach knows what the fuck they're doing. But when you're taking an athlete to a place they've never been, that means you've never seen it. It's like, okay, if at 6 weeks out they're doing this, that's pretty smart, right? That they're ready early so they can figure out how far to push, when to pull back, when to fill up, when to pull back cardio a little bit. Because like Justin does that with me. Like we'll dig real fucking deep, 5 or 6 weeks out, and he'll start playing with shit. Like the cardio will go down. He'll fill me up. He'll see how many days I can go without being to the point where I'm way too far deep. So it's like it's a learning experience. The first time going that deep too. So we don't know what that looks going to look like because they've never pushed that before. And yeah, he's a whole new body. He has new tissue that he's never had before. It's just like he's going to lose some on the way down. That's for damn sure. It's not. There's no getting around that. So
that pendulum swing, right? It's always that pendulum swing. I start competing. I'm winning some local shows, but it's like, bro, if you just come in peeled, bro, then this obsession with coming in peeled comes in. Then I'm like this, and I go the far left, and then it's like, oh, whoa, what the fuck? What happened? You little flat there, buddy. And then you're like, okay, let me fill out a little bit, and then you find that perfect medium. So it is like a little pendulum. We saw Quint push all the way down, and then now he's almost where he needs to be, just like a little bit tighter. But he had to go. I know Matt got a lot of critique, but Matt was just trying to get him in shape. It was overkill, but he was just trying to get him in shape. I think he was trying. I think he was trying, but it just wasn't the look they were going for. But you have to fuck up to see the. Unfortunately, some bodies have to fuck up to pull to the other end and then find it. And I was scared Quentin was going to come in way like out of shape or soft, which he didn't. So he's closer than I thought. Now it's just a little 5%, and then he should be where he's at.
In 2023, when I was going for my pro card at USA's, Justin will tell you that he took off 10 pounds of body weight that he didn't need to for me to try to make the weight cap.
Yeah.
I was ready like 4 weeks out, and we kept pushing because we thought I should come in as a heavyweight instead of a super heavy, and my legs were just eating the fuck up. Yeah. And luckily, we made that call that Sunday, and I had days to feed up into that show, which kind of brought my body back to life because we decided, fuck it, we'll be a super heavy.
Yeah.
So I firsthand seen pushing conditioning as far as possible and seeing it just eat my physique away, and how hard it is to bring it back to life.
The cool thing is, though, is you guys were doing that to reach a threshold that you guys got to get under 225. So you have this number in mind. Anyone in the open, like Samson, they're not like, hey, we got to be under 260. That's our goal weight. They're pushing for, like we talked about, like the look. They're probably not even really paying attention to the scale. So I don't think they're going to push so far if they don't have to. Like Joe, if you didn't have to make heavyweights, let's say, I don't know, there was no weight class and you were already at 240, you guys probably would have just kept you there since that was your best look and you were ready. But the only reason you kept pushing down was because you're thinking, oh, we got to go make it to the heavyweights,
Yeah. Some people have more leeway. Joe was still flat on stage, but Joe's flat is still dense enough. Somewhere, whereas some people, if you're 6 foot, your flatness might not look dense enough because of your long limbs and shit.
If you look, I was actually I was literally just looking at pictures today. I looked like more on the stringy side. Like I was like this close to having holes, like showing compared in a lot of my shots. Even my legs had a small gap compared to what they normally look like. And I'm seeing that happen to Samson. I'm just hoping he doesn't push to the point where he's eating too much and it's really hard to fill back up at his height. The way his muscle bellies are and shit. It's gonna be hard to do.
And then you look at Derek, actually, and listen, anybody who thinks Derek is not going to be in shape, man, I'm not saying that he's going to be his all-time best because it's hard to peak a bunch of times, but it's just a method to the madness. When Derek used to be ready like 8 weeks out, but then he would come in flat, right? Or his legs would go. So there's a reason why Aceto is doing this. Before the Arnold, people thought Derek was not going to be in shape because he wasn't shredded 6 weeks out. It is just a different method, but if you look at Derek, he's not flat at all. If anything, he's like not that hard, for Derek at least. But I have no doubt that he's probably gonna look better for it because his issue is keeping fullness in his legs and chest and shoulders. So I have no doubt that he's gonna be in shape, even if he looks a little bit not peeled.
We also have to keep in mind, like, every single body is different, and for all we know, like, Derek might have a physique where, like, his body can get away from him really quick. Like, if he wanted to, Derek could probably get peeled in 3 weeks. So they probably look at him like, okay, we got to kind of like keep this fullness for a little bit longer, because they know, like, okay, if we push too early, that's when he starts to flatten out, lose the legs, lose the arms. So it's like there's a method to all, like, these guys are the best in the world. They're not just like throwing something against the wall and hoping that it sticks. This is years and years of data, multiple shows, multiple peaks. Like, I'm sure they all know what they're doing, you know.
Did you watch his prep videos last year when he was with Hani?
No.
Yeah, I watched some of them.
Like what you said literally happened. Like he started prep within like 4 weeks, he had a death face, and it's like, God damn. First of all, he has shredded glutes in the off season, right? So it's not like the guy like gets fat at any point. So like they pushed him right out the gate, which for some people works great. I think for Derek, just being peeled for 8 weeks, God damn, you know. So if like I give it to him. He was pushing hard in the gym, like especially legs, which sounds like a smart thing to do, right? Let me push legs super hard. But when you're lean and on a deficit, you probably should push legs not as hard, right? Realistically, it's a big muscle. If it's a weaker body part, it's probably having trouble recovering. So he did what he felt was right. It just kind of backfired. You know, being super lean and then hammering legs in prep, it kind of just ate his legs. So they're trying to avoid that by doing this, which I think it worked at the Arnold, right? So, you know.
Betty, I got these questions.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Just because we did post it, and just for the people that actually did comment and ask something, I would hate for them to watch this and be like, "Hey, they didn't even answer any questions. What the fuck?"
We've been doing that for like the last 5 months. We used to answer questions and we kind of just
stopped.
Kind of just stopped here.
Oh, this happened last time.
I'll pick
when
some,
I was on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not like a ton of them. Like, there's probably like one or two serious ones, and then there's probably like a couple of like kind of lighter, funny ones. I'll pick some random ones that I think will be good. This one said, if you can make any one food 0 calories, what would it be?
Oh yeah. That kind of changes throughout the year. I like ice cream. I'm an ice cream guy. I like cakes, like cheesecakes. But the longer I do this, my cravings. Have y'all cravings got less the longer you're having a bodybuilder?
No, but I know what I want more than anything. Like, I've always wanted pancakes, like, more than anything. I'm a pancake guy.
Well, you can have pancakes off season if you're doing the Andy style pancakes.
No, I'm talking real pancakes, real syrup and shit.
Oh,
throwing shit on there like peanut butter and jelly and shit, like chocolate chips, all that good shit.
I'll be doing like the protein pancakes, and I'll make like a fake jam. I'll take strawberries and heat it up, and then put like Splenda in it, and then get it like really like jammy. And that's kind of like but it's not the same. It tastes good, but it's different.
It tastes good because you have to believe it is. Like, you
that ever happened? That ever happens to you, like after a show? You try something you had in prep, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this year round
all the time."
And then you eat it, and you're like, "The tilapia with the what's that sauce? The flavor gang sauce. The tilapia sweet poppy sauce was hitting a lot harder in prep. I don't know. I don't know
I think you're just so grateful that you get to have some sort of flavor in your life or whatever. But yeah, once you come off prep and you start to like get your taste buds back a little bit, you're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I would say any type of, well, it has to be like one specific. I can't say like, oh, breakfast food, because like they ask for one food. I would just say, since I do have a sweet tooth, I would say like any type of like cake or dessert. So like a cake, a brownie, a cookie. Like I don't know if that would fall under like pastries, but like a
donuts.
a junk food like that, like cookie, donut. You know, like brownie, that type of shit.
Yeah, because we can. I gotta be honest. We live in the easiest time to diet though. If we go by because savory, we're allowed to have savory foods in prep, and then now there's so many options of like adding sweet to it, right? I do a lot of like Crystal Light. You could even do like the sugar-free yogurt. I'm sugar-free yogurt, sugar-free Jello, sugar-free Jello packets.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, like, simply being able to have a fucking Diet Dr. Pepper is dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got to be honest. I'm almost content. Besides the energy levels and the hunger, and now with the hunger, you got Ratatouille, you know. So it's like I'm kind of content. I'm more so in prep. I'm like I want to feel like a human being again. I just want to feel normal. But as far as cravings, I'm kind of. You guys could probably. I'm kind of content on the cravings in prep. You know, in the perfect world, I mean, I would go have a burger or some shit, but I'm not in prep like shaking. I'm kind of like I enjoy my prep food, low key, is what I'm saying.
So if you could make one food 0 calorie, it would be burgers.
Probably not a thing. But
so you said pancakes.
No, I'll probably go with donuts.
Okay, I'm gonna go like cookies. Like you guys see them like. It always pops up on my feed, and I don't even look it up. It's only on prep it pops up. PDX cookie, Fat Polly cookies, Buckeye brownies, like the massive half-pound cookies with like s'mores and peanut butter and M&Ms. I'm like, why is this popping up on my feed 2 weeks out? I didn't even search it.
Because we're probably talking about it.
Yeah,
you probably talked about it, and the phone picked it up and like, all right, motherfucker, come buy them.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw there was like a lawsuit about Siri that Siri was listening, but Siri kind of has to listen to hear you. So if you say anything, your phone will pick it up and it's gonna throw it in your algorithm.
All right. This guy said Gary Drink H2O said favorite type of fruit pie. I don't know if
fruit pie.
What would fall under that? It would be like apple pie and
honestly, no, pecan pie is like a nut pie.
Yeah, nut pie. Yeah.
Peach cobbler.
What? Oh,
peach cobbler with ice cream, vanilla ice cream.
See, I'm an apple pie guy when it comes to fruit pies.
I can't even really think of what a fruit pie, like what flavors of fruit pie there is.
Yeah, there's strawberry, there's fucking pecan. I mean, cherry, there's peach, there's rhubarb.
I'm trying to think of like pie. You guys know the little pastries that come in the plastic thing. They're called cutie pies, I think. And they're like they're filled. I used to smack. I like lemon pie, maybe lemon pie or like cherry pie. I think
cherry pie is good.
There's a really good blackberry cobbler that they have at this restaurant here. Blackberry cobbler with like with vanilla ice cream. You gotta have it with the ice cream. I feel like apple pie, hot apple pie with vanilla ice cream.
I gotta have ice cream.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's see here.
You guys ever had what's that Italian cake? What's the Italian cake called?
Tiramisu.
It's like butter. Is it called butter cake? That's what it's called, right? You guys ever had?
There's I don't know if that's Italian, but butter cake's good as fuck.
Butter cake is fucking fire.
This guy asked, "Who is the strongest pound for pound bencher you have ever trained with?" And I'll just say, I don't flat bench, and I don't train with anyone that flat benches, so I couldn't really tell you. I'd probably say myself, to be honest. I don't really like know anyone that flat benches like that, or I don't train with anyone that flat benches because I don't.
I haven't flat benched in like fucking 8 years.
I trained with Larry Wills for like a month.
Oh, well, nobody's feeding that answer.
No. With Larry and Black Time Cruise, And I mean, at the time, maybe I was 21 and he was maybe 19, and yeah, he was close gripping 500. So I don't think anybody's gonna touch that.
This is a pretty good question. If you guys were in charge of the IFBB, what is one change each of you would implement right away? I already know what mine is, but if you guys want to go first.
Probably with the background, like
The
some
black
kind of
backdrop.
lighting and backdrop. Just I don't. It doesn't have to be curtains. It doesn't even have to be pitch black. Just not. Can we not do the sparkles and smoke and the fucking
I just
shit
think it
moving
should be
around?
it should be like uniform. Like every show should look the same. Like okay, it's a dark background. There's no lights and no LED stuff, whatever smoke, like you said, Beatty, and the lighting is the same at every show. Because it's like you hear competitors talk about all the time. It's like they go to this show and it's like, oh, it's terrible lighting. Everybody looks like crap, and the backdrop is like washing all of us out. Then you see a show like Texas Pro, perfect lighting, perfect backdrop. Everybody looks peeled. So
Phenomenal. Oh, also, I would allow people to do multiple. Like if you qualify for the 212 and open division, I would let you do both, knowing that it's going to be tough to be doing both. But if you want to, I would let you do it. Why not? Like who is it hurting?
What about you, Joe?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking know.
Well, I would do. This is kind of more on like the promoter side, but I always like thought this would be a good idea. So, because it's a win-win for both the competitor and the promoter. So let's say there's a show like Pittsburgh, right, or the Arnold. Well, obviously there's going to be a pay-per-view. Let's say the pay-per-view is $40, right?
I know where you're going.
They give every single athlete there competing a code. So code Joe, code Beatty, code Andy. Here, guys, promote this all of your social media, right? For anyone who types in your code, all right, I'm going to buy this live stream. It's $40. I'm going to use code Joe. Well, you get $5 off of the live stream, and then that $5 goes to the athlete. So even if Joe brings in, say, 100 people use his code, well, Joe just got $500. So so the athletes are getting like paid depending on how many people use their code. But then I think the more important thing is the athletes are like, yo guys, I'm competing this weekend. This is the live stream. Use my code. And then the consumer, myself or whoever, we're saving money. So it's like we're able to support our favorite athlete, get a discount on the live stream. And then the promoter is like, your show is getting posted everywhere by all the athletes, and then you're getting more sales in the live stream.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, Urge would have made like $1 million in fucking.
Imagine C-Bum's doing Prague, and he's like, "Hey, the live stream's $30. Use code C-Bum for $5 off." He'd probably get like 10,000 people using his code at $5 a pop, 50 grand.
Man, C-Bum got too much money. You got to give that shit to charity at that point. C-Bum got too much money.
Can you imagine having too much money?
Yeah,
I need to work some of this.
C-Bum, he doesn't even seem like he's like he cares about money all that much. As long as his family's happy, I think that's all he needs in his life, man.
I was gonna say it's hard to care about money when you got it.
This is true. This is true. What else? I was gonna say one more thing about the. We said the divisions, pay-per-view.
Joe.
Qualifications. If
bring the point system back.
No, but
no, I think that's too many. Race too many competitors.
Move. Okay, Jordan is already qualified for the Olympia, right? Or whoever. Let's say Derek is already qualified for the Olympia. If he wins, he won the Arnold. Yeah, he won Arnold. He's qualified. Well, okay. Let's use the Jordan one. Jordan qualified for the Olympia. You move on. He wins Texas. He gets first place. He gets first place prize money. He's already qualified.
So the
So at
second place
that,
person gets it.
yeah, to me that makes sense just because they probably wouldn't want that because you have to
There's
pay for
already
more.
and there's already too many athletes at the Olympia. So it's like if someone
This is true.
technically like steals your qualification, then it's like, hey, bro, that's fair game, you know, like in my opinion. Like I
And
don't think you
then
should be awarded, oh, you got second. Well, this guy already won, so we're gonna just give you the qualification just because it's like
my
I don't know.
my
You
ego
Yeah.
would get in the way.
I was gonna say
I thought
Joe's gonna turn it down. He's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want
I don't want it. I don't want that
that.
shit.
Like Branch, there was a year.
Nothing against anybody that's gotten their pro card for second place, but I wouldn't want it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. A Branch, it was a year Branch qualified on points, and people say, "Oh, you already qualified. You don't have to do the show." Branch is like, "The fuck? The fuck does that mean? Like, points? Get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna do the show." And then he qualified anyways. You know.
This
Yeah,
person,
for real.
this person said ultimate goal in bodybuilding. I'm gonna just say I want to be classic physique, Mr. Olympia.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna say I think that's an obvious answer for anybody that's in this sport. You want to be the best of all time at some
I
point.
think I think
Really?
another one would just be to like set myself up financially long term after competing. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like retire at say 35, and then I'm like, fuck, like I don't have any money coming in. That would suck. I want to like be able to have an exit strategy to where I can retire with my health. I'm still young enough to, you know, potentially start a family or, you know, get into other things, but I make a very good living off of the life I built through bodybuilding. So whether that be like I'm co-owner of a company or I own a gym that's very successful or I don't know, something along those lines. I don't want to retire and then just be like, oh, I'm just a personal trainer or something like that. I feel like that would kind of suck.
Or then this might sound weird to y'all. I never had a long term goal for bodybuilding. It was more like short term goals. It was like in the now, right? So
Well, your ultimate goal is probably to turn pro, at least.
I mean, it wasn't though. I mean, it wasn't some I even considered until other people told me that they thought I could. You know, like I'm somebody who I just love to work out, bro. And then stepping on stage was more so. It seemed like it made sense. Seemed like it made sense, but there was my first show I did. I didn't think, okay, I'm gonna win the show. I really didn't diet, and then I got six at a really good show, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it again, and then I won. But I never had long term goals until I felt like I was getting closer. You know, so yeah, but even turning pro, like I would say it's a goal, but not really. I mean, the look is really the goal for me. Like I want to look the way I want to look, but let's say winning a pro card or not winning a pro card, I don't have any emotional connection to that, right? So it's hard to call it like a. I can still call it a goal, but it's not that deep as far as that. You know,
So
it's
your ultimate goal is like building a pro level physique, whether the card is there or not.
basically yeah. So I got into it. Like, I want to look like Ronnie Coleman. Well, I want to
Yeah.
like Flex Wheeler, and that's always been even without the competing part. So I wanted to do that with no competition in sight. I wanted to look like that, right? So yeah. So there's never been a long, even till today. I can't say there's been a long term goal. You know, so if the judges think that I have a pro level physique, then perfect, right? That's about it. But it's not really. It's not really in my control, anyways. All I could do is bring my best physique. So I don't like to have goals that I can't control. The goals I have in my life are goals that I'm in control of. So that's the kind of goals I like to have. I can control how I look. I can't control where I land. So I like to be in full control. So that you know. So whatever goals I have in my life, I'm in full control. Whereas that is a little different. You know.
What about you, Joe?
I would have never competed one time if I didn't want to be a pro.
Oh
So
yeah.
fuck that.
That was your first goal. Why not
That
forget
doesn't make
that?
sense.
Mm.
once I decided I wanted to compete, it was like, okay, I want to see how I fall. And if I feel that I like the life, I want to try to be a pro. So I only competed that second time because I liked what the life asked of me. So, okay, I want to turn this into a professional thing. So, because I had a passion for it. So I'm like, if I can get paid to do this somewhere down the line, I'm going to work towards that. And so that was the goal. But I would have never competed if I didn't see myself like becoming a professional at something.
I get so even for that, I always thought that was the worst way to get paid. I feel like there's so many ways to make money. Like,
But
why would I hang?
that's not that has nothing to do with getting paid like competition money. But when you move higher up in the ranks, it's easier to get known and easier to brand yourself. Because I'm not a social media guy where it's like I
Yeah,
was gonna do a fucking prank video and blow up. I knew I was gonna blow up because of a fan base
yeah.
made through competition. So it's like it's not necessarily getting paid because you're winning. It's getting paid because you're being seen and creating a fan base.
Mhm.
This was my logic, right? This bodybuilding thing, I love it. It's fun for me, right? But I like expensive things, so I like to have money. So how can I make money and how can I bodybuild? For me, it didn't have to be one and the same. So I was gonna make money regardless. It was just I'm a grown man, so I'm gonna find a way to make money regardless. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna make money regardless if I'm pro or not, because I mean, I'm a grown ass man. I got to make money, right? So I almost didn't want to combine it, But where you were going, it made sense, and it shows now, right? So, but you have to get somewhere first for that to even be an option, And I think a lot of people think that way. I've had people ask me about it. I think a lot of people think that way prematurely. People who are nowhere near even winning a local show thinking about getting paid, right? I mean, you could do it through social media, but if you've never even done a local show, I don't think you should be talking about money from the sport yet. I think maybe get a job and make a lot of fucking money from whatever job, and then start branding yourself, right? But I kind of feel like you should already have money before you even
That's
try to compete personally.
That's like the responsible answer, and I agree with that. But the thing is, now with social media, like you see a Sam Sulek or Trend Twins, it's like they didn't even compete, and they were making probably millions of dollars just off social media, just off fucking training hard and heavy and just being themselves. So it's like, sure, I mean, they weren't competitive bodybuilders, but they were, bodybuilding just the same as us, training heavy, eating, looking
Sure.
good, taking gear, whatever. And they were able to build a fan base even without competing. So there's definitely like different ways you can get paid. Like I don't think any competitor, unless you're like top 5 in the world, I don't think you're relying on like, oh, I'm gonna go win this show so I can make money. It's like I think that's just like a bonus, a cherry on top. But like I don't think like, oh, I make, $100,000 a year and I got to make sure I win these 2 shows because that's like a big chunk of my income. Most of your money is going to come from like coaching or training or sponsorships or, codes, that type of stuff. So,
I think
yeah.
I definitely spend more money bodybuilding, but I actually think I would make more money not bodybuilding personally, But I love bodybuilding, so I'm gonna do it regardless because it's not everything isn't about money, right? But I would argue if I didn't compete, I would be able to make more money because I would have more of the year. I would be sharper to actually do some of the things I want to do. But I'm also somebody who has a lot of interests outside of bodybuilding, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be different for everybody,
That kind of leads me to my next question. I was actually thinking about it. So, Joe, like at these bigger shows, when you start placing well, it actually becomes like pretty lucrative to like place very well, right? Like you got your first paycheck this year, and you're probably like, at least for me, when I got my first paycheck, I didn't even know until the lady backstage was like, "Oh, wait, like we got to get you your paycheck," and I was like,
You
"Paycheck?
forgot.
Like, what are you talking about?" And then when I opened it, I was like $4,000. oh shit, like obviously $4,000 is not that much money, but it's like, oh, I could have got $0 and I would have been happy. So, but my next question is like, some of these shows, Joe, right? Like, I think Pittsburgh or one of these, the prize money is 100,000, which obviously we all know 100,000 is a lot of money, but like, after taxes and you buy a couple of things, it's really not that much money. It's not life-changing money. But I'm wondering, Beatty, you too, hypothetically, if you're a pro and you want a pro show and you want 100 grand, like what would you guys spend it on? Or would you not spend any of it?
I would try to invest that money into something to
Mhm.
build the money. It may not be. I mean, that is a lot to me. I mean, I don't know what your guys' lifestyle is like. That is life-changing money for me. As far as like my situation, as far as like being able to invest a large chunk of money into something that makes money. That's what I mean by it's a lot. So, yeah, my dream is to own a gym one day, but a family-owned gym that Jax can run one day. So, I mean, that's the start of that right there. Investing that money into that kind of thing. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's life-changing money when you look at the long run of things, So, it definitely will help.
I meant like life-changing. Like it's not like you could fucking
last
retire.
forever.
You could retire and buy your whole family a house. And, like it's not like $1 billion, but like still, if you play your cards right, like that $100,000 could definitely change your life. If you don't go buy a fancy car and buy a bunch of shit you don't need. If you're like, hey, I got 100 grand, like I'm gonna pay off my car, okay, 10 grand or whatever, and then I'm gonna invest 75,000 into this gym. And I'm going to hand select all this equipment. I'm going to make it. I mean, 75,000 is probably not even enough for a gym, but it's a big chunk you can put towards that. Obviously, you have to get a loan and all this other stuff that goes into it. But it's like,
definitely get a loan. Yeah, don't use that.
Yeah, I know, but you see what I'm saying? It's like
investing all that into something bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you're making more money, it's just like money you don't even see leaving because you're just putting it into that. That you're also building. So. It's just again being smart with it. I'm not a materialistic guy. I'm a very simple man. So it's like that money goes a long way when used right.
Facts.
For me, if I had the 100 grand, I'm gonna get a Hellcat and a couple chains and
that's gone.
Does it go? No, that's what they did in the 90s. Remember the guys they were Lambos and shit. No, but I would probably honestly probably buy a house. Probably buy a house.
Just something that like the value increases on it, right? Like you don't want to go buy a car because the moment you drive off a lot, that shit's fucking not worth anything. But it's like if you buy a house or you invest into a gym or something that's gonna build interest. So even if like you buy a house, right, Beatty, and you keep it for 5 years and you're like, you know what, like I'm gonna move somewhere, I'm gonna sell this house. With how the market is, like you'll probably be up significantly on the house, and that house's value is going to be more than what it is than when you bought it. So then you could sell the house and like you can make a lot of money off just selling the house because of the amount of interest that has grown on it versus just spending it on like shoes or clothes or a car that like the value decreases once you use it.
Exactly. Yeah. If you would have asked me this question like 5 years ago, I probably would have said like start another business. But with social media these days, you say the wrong thing and nobody wants to buy your shit no more because you said something that people didn't agree with or something. So you get a house, the house is going to increase in value regardless if you canceled or not,
Or Beatty goes, I got my 100 grand. I'm going to go to Vegas, put it all in black.
Yeah.
Why like black, Andy?
Oh, you see,
I don't
know. or like crypto, or like during COVID, everybody was, they'll go buy Bitcoin or.
Hey, that's not a bad idea either, bro. Just drop like 50 bands and put it in Bitcoin, and then just don't change anything about your lifestyle. Don't buy anything, and then let a couple years go by, and like Oh, that 50 grand, that's now 250 grand. Oh, hell yeah. Now I'll build my gym.
I'm too scared, bro. I'm too scared for because in my head it feels like it feels like blackjack. It feels like almost gambling in my. I know it's a lot less risky, but shit like that scares me, bro. I'm scared to like put my money into somebody else's hands almost,
Scared
right?
money don't make money.
This is true. This is true. My sister makes money because she has no fear, bro. She'll put her last penny just into whether it's buying another house or a different business. And I'm like, I thought she was rich when she was doing this shit, and she wasn't. She just had the balls, you know.
Yeah,
And you'll if you have big enough balls and you're lucky, you'll become rich. But if you're not lucky, there's a lot of people who fuck up their money too. And just fuck, there.
Well,
You
how
know,
many times have you seen a man go broke and then rich again? Like they'll. I mean, if you
yeah.
have that mentality, like you know, you like you said it yourself. Like I'm a grown man, I'm gonna go make money. Like if you know how to make money, make it. So it's
I'm
kind of
getting
like
I'm getting a little less ballsy, bro, as I get older. But it's not working to my advantage. But when I was ballsy, I felt like I was making more money when I didn't give a fuck. And then
that's
now
what I'm saying.
I'm trying to be more calculated, and I'm like the money,
Mm.
scared money don't make the money, bro. So I think
let's
sometimes you gotta just go. You gotta go for it, man.
all right. Let's get into
Mhm.
the nitty gritty here. 5.5 week out, Olympia predictions. Let's fucking do it right now. Beatty,
Uh-oh.
if you want to write it down, you can.
Yeah,
I'll
let me
write
write
it
it
down
down.
on mine, and then we'll come back to this in a few weeks when some more updates are posted if we're going to change our picks. But we should lock in some picks right now. You think, like, should we do top 10, top 6,
Oh
top
man,
5? I could pull up the list, or you could pull up the list, Beatty.
yeah. Where would the list be? Where they have the
Yeah,
list at?
it's called if you go on Instagram,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
I'll be right.
elite elite
Elite. Mm-hmm.
BB, and it's elite BB infos.
Oh, boom, perfect.
And then it'll say like this is the first pin post, and it says like qualified athletes.
All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. Andy over here. Andy got it.
Well, I
There we
know
go.
because I checked that shit and I could see my name.
Smart. Oh, so it goes. Wait, what? There's not more than this?
No, that's it.
Really?
Well, I
One, two,
mean,
three, four,
there's
five,
two
six,
more qualifiers still. I think there's like
seven,
20 people.
18. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. For some reason, like when the way it's listed, it didn't look like a lot. But
It's
yeah,
probably because
that's a good number.
you saw classic and men's physique. You're like, oh, there's like a 70 people. Why is there so many? Yeah,
All right,
I'm
all
gonna
right.
I'm gonna get a pen and this fucking notepad because I want to like break this down and I want to make sure my picks are fucking good.
All right. I'm gonna start with first then. All right.
All right.
Um,
Well,
I'm gonna
maybe
go.
we should do top 10.
Yeah, let's do top 10. I'm gonna go Samson. Then I'm gonna go Nick. I kind of feel bad that nobody's putting like Lunsford in that top. Okay. I'm gonna go Hottie. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. You're great, Derek. There's no offense at all. All right. So Samson, Nick, Hottie, Derek. Um, Andrew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's five. Five more. Martin. Um. Oh, Hottie got his visa, so he's definitely gonna be here. 2, 3,
Nice.
4, 5, 6. Martin, this is where it gets tough. I think that top six. I think a lot of people will have that top six like in different orders. Samson, Nick, Hottie, Derek, Andrew, Martin. So now 7 through 10 is where it gets tricky. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna count Beirut. I would have Beirut in there if he was gonna be here, but I don't believe Beirut will ever get here.
Yeah, we're doing this based off of Beirut is not going to make it, and then I don't think Rafael Brandeo is doing it either.
Okay, okay. Damn. I'm gonna go Tonio.
Ooh, Tonio in 7th.
Yeah. See, but Bonac placings wise,
Well, you know
but
you're forgetting one person, right? Andrew
uh,
Jacked.
oh no, I'll put Andrew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Andrew fifth. So Samson, Nick, Hottie, Derek, Andrew, Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Andrew got to be in there because even if Andrew's off, he's in there. So I don't even have to factor in that part. So I'm gonna go Tonio in 7th. This is tricky because now I'm thinking between. See, okay, in my head I'm thinking Brett Jordan, but then you like, what about fucking Bonac and Curry?
What
Motherfuckers
about
are
Nexzilla?
Nexzilla. It just doesn't flow for me. I feel like when he's next to people who are more complete,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like Nexzilla is a freak, but him next to like Tonio, he didn't jump at me the way I thought he would, even though
Brandon
he's a lot.
Curry.
I'm gonna have to put them. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put Curry and Bonac over Brett and Jordan, even though I feel like they can beat them, but just the track record has to count for something. So let me go after Tonio. I'm gonna go Brandon because he looked really good at the Arnold's, and then Bonac. No, I'm gonna go Tonio, Bonac, Brandon. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Goddamn. And I'm gonna go Jordan. I'm sorry, Brett.
Ooh, ran out the top 10, Jordan.
I'm sorry, Brett. I like, but this is not about who you like. It's just you know, I like everybody. You know.
So you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go. I have Nick,
Mm-hmm.
Scotty, Samson,
Damn.
Derek, who did I have in 5th? Oh, Martin, and then Andrew.
Can you see the list I have up? You can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right.
I put Andrew in 6th, right?
Yeah.
Brandon,
Mm-hmm.
Tonio. Oh, right.
Got two more.
Bonac
Mm-hmm.
and Akeem.
Oh shit! Damn, I forgot Akeem.
Ooh.
You see, when you talk about the top 10, it's like so many
It's
people
hard.
can be in the top. Yeah, because they're all top 10 guys. I mean, I think Brett, I think Jordan are top 10 guys. I think Nexzilla is the top 10 guy. I think
It,
Vitali is the top 10 guy, but you can't all be in the top 10.
it's
You
really
can.
hard for me not to put Brett in there
Mm-hmm.
or Jordan because they I know they're both can be crazy conditioned. I actually put Brett in front of Jordan in my head.
Okay,
So I think Brett's made some crazy improvements and just has a little more age on him, I believe.
I can see
But
that.
but they're really fucking close. Like those two guys are like rival close, in my opinion.
Good Vito is really good too, man.
It's in his name.
Um, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But Akeem is a good call. I'm not gonna lie. Akeem is really good too.
You know, he's top 10 good. Like it's his back shots that are what hurts him. But I mean, that's 2 out of 8 shots that he's gonna beat a lot of people.
Yeah, shit. Even if he got dead last in the back double, his other poses are so good that he's gonna beat a lot of people. I don't know. That's a tough one. Seven through 10. I don't know who's gonna get that right. That's a tough one. You know. All right. I think Andy.
All right. I got Samson, and I got Nick, then I got Hottie, Then I got Derek. Then I got Andrew. Then I got Martin. Then I got Tonio. Then I got Vito. And then Bonac. And then Jordan rounding out the top 10.
These, I mean, these are all great picks. These are all
No,
great picks.
but the thing is with mine, I have no Brandon Curry and no Akeem in my top 10.
But somebody going.
I was gonna say I want to put Jordan in there so bad because I fucking love Jordan, but my bodybuilding like site doesn't see it happening. Where at least his first time around he beats those guys yet.
I see it happening. I can see it happening, but just the track record. But we're talking about a Mr. Olympia. You know, we're talking about a top 6 guy. But you're talking about somebody who's doing his first time, so it's still.
I just feel like Brandon is on his way out. Every year he's gotten a little bit worse, and even last year he placed 8th, I think. And I'm like,
but you're like getting Arnold. The Arnold, he moved back up. He looked his probably his best he looked since 2019.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just feel like someone like Jordan is more complete.
He is
I
more
feel
complete.
like he's going to be. I think it's probably going to be Brandon's last swing at it. I think he's done after this, so I'm sure he'll go out swinging.
Can you bring up Good Vito's Instagram?
Yeah.
See, this is one I'm not sure about because obviously, like, we haven't really seen him, but like he compared very well with Martin last year, and
that's for Vitaly. Okay.
Good Vito. Yeah, it's just Good Vito.
Great. I mean, he definitely a top 10 caliber guy, man. I mean, I think everybody would agree with that.
I mean,
he is 100%. It's just hard. Like,
look at the front double that he put on top.
But like, so is everybody else.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is where that 1% makes a difference that they come in right.
Yep.
Because this is such a like, people. If anyone says that bodybuilding is like not the same, they're stupid. It's just better. Because how hard was it to decide a top 10? Like, this just started getting hard in 2023 or 2022 even. Now it's just like damn near impossible to figure out which guy's going to top which guy.
Yeah. I don't think there's ever been somebody who can have the fucking feet pointed straight at you and have sweeps like that, bro.
Well, Justin Compton.
The fucking the lats are just mind blowing to me. And like Good Vito's side shots are really nasty because he's super dense, and he's really peeled from the back in those back shots. So I'm like, that's a pretty dense, pretty complete look, and I feel like he would stand well next to like a Bonac and a Tonio.
Hey, have you guys ever beaten somebody? Have you guys ever seen a physique and you're like, damn, dude, that's fucking crazy. I don't know if I could ever beat that. And then you beat that? Has that happened to you yet, Andy?
It happens every single show I've done. I'm like getting my tan backstage, and I'll see someone like, fuck, bro, this dude looks fucking unreal. And then I smoke him on stage. It's not even close. I'm like, it's so weird. And then I can't help but think, I'm like, I wonder what they think when they see me backstage.
That same thought. Yeah. I'm like, when they compliment you backstage, damn, dog, like, you look crazy, or this is now you're full as a house, or you're fucking huge. Like, you're like, me? Have you seen you?
I think it's human nature. So I will go as far as to say, not only does it happen to me, it happens to my clients. Like, I'll see my client, I'll be like, oh yeah, he could win, and then I'll look at the other competitors. I'm like, fuck, oh my god, that guy, but he's so much bigger. What the fuck? And they step on stage, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I knew it. I was right all along. Yeah, he's gonna win. And it's like, because once you see everybody else, kind of like, because everybody looks crazy. I mean, if you're talking about like pro level or national level, they're all champions, right? Besides that one random fat guy that qualifies because nobody was there. They're all champions, right? So you stand them up. It's hard to. They all look good. So you start to think they're better than you, or whether you're clients or not. I don't know. It's always and then you have people who are freaky in the gym or just freaky standing there, but on stage maybe they don't present that way, right?
Oh,
Or
you know what I noticed?
mhm.
None of us have Rubiel in our top 10.
I don't think he's going to be in the top
I
10.
don't think I'm going to be honest. So the reason I didn't put Rubiel in there is because I don't believe he can bring, or at least not yet, a certain level of detail to the size that he has to be in a top 10. Because like the separation and shit that the guys have in the top 10 is pretty wild at the Olympia level. I just don't think he's there yet. He's kind of
So
fresh in this, so
I definitely agree with you, but when I look at someone like Nathan Diasha, I'm like, I think he would be in the top 10, and he beat Nathan Diasha.
I don't
I don't
think
think
this
Nate,
Nathan Diasha would be in this top 10.
I don't think
No.
so neither. Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think even if Rubio was like in really good shape, I don't think he's beating these guys personally. It's just too deep, bro. It's just too deep.
It's crazy.
And then
Because
honestly, like you're seeing how big shape is a factor in bodybuilding now.
Hmm.
Like I don't like his shape. Like I think it's monstrous and crazy, but like for example, Nick gives an illusion of some form of like decent shape when he poses. You
Hmm.
know, I don't think Rubiel does myself. I mean, this is my personal opinion on him. I
Hmm.
really like. I think he's dope, but as far as like top 10 in the world dope, I don't think that's a box he'll be able to check. You know,
So
I
I
think so.
want to get Joe's reasoning why you think Nick is going to win.
because of so okay. There's definitely some emotion behind it. It's like Nick is like somebody that I look up to as far as like this dude's work ethic's insane, and it's
Hmm.
very much like Dorian to me. Just like this guy just puts his head down, goes to work, and makes improvements every single year. Um, and he looks insane. To me, though, Nick is the definition of bodybuilding. You know,
Hmm.
you reward some of these guys for having a really pretty shape or flow of their physique, but Nick literally turned his body into one of the best in the world from work ethic. Like he wasn't gifted with much other than the ability to put on muscle. So his training knowledge, his application, his ability to make his physique look way better due to like posing and stuff, like it's more so like I feel like this dude just earned it at this point, and he's a fucking like monster with a crazy level of conditioning at that muscle size, with the separation that he has. It's like that's bodybuilding to the T. And I mean that's my definition of bodybuilding.
Hmm.
So that's why I see him winning at this point. It's just too like hard to ignore all those factors and boxes being checked as he's come up.
Hmm.
So it's almost earned. Nothing's ever given. This motherfucker's like earned that opinion of mine. That's crazy what he's done.
I mean, you know me, Joe. Like Nick has been like my favorite bodybuilder for years. Like I've followed him since 2017. I've met him. I hung out with him a couple times at some raw events. I message him occasionally on Instagram, and like Nick's a great person. Like always gives me the time of day. He'll even comment on my stuff. Like Nick is a great person. I watch all his videos, all his podcasts and stuff, and I think I would just love to see someone like him win the Olympia because, like you said, Joe, like that's the epitome of just bodybuilding, like just a freak of nature that is just like when you see Nick's most muscular, I look at that, I'm like, that's Mr. Olympia. Like that is,
Yep.
you can't get any freakier than that. His conditioning is going to be probably the best in the show, right there with Hottie. And like you said, he may not have the best genetics as far as shape and taper, but it's like you can't ignore that freak factor. Like every single pose, like his side shots, insane. His obviously he probably has one of the best back doubles in the league, right next to Joe and Derek.
Front double
His front
is
double is
crazy.
great.
Front relaxed now even.
Everything. I mean, he poses so militant on stage. He's a statue. He doesn't move. And I'm just a big fan in general. Like I love how he's like, nope, I don't leave the house. I don't do anything. I live in a box. He reminds me of Jay Cutler. Like he's very just locked in. And although he doesn't travel, he doesn't like do anything like he's like, nope, I'm not leaving. I'm not getting out of my routine. And I relate to that because that's how I am. I'm very
I
like
know I like that
militant.
too.
Yeah, like we all kind of have to be in a sense, but some are more extreme than others. And I'm like, hey, I eat my meal the same time every day. I go to bed at the same time every day. Like literally just like militant all year round. And that's how Nick is too. So to see someone with maybe not the best genetics overcome that by simply just being consistent, being a freak of nature, putting in the work, and like you said, Joe, coming back every year, improving. It's like you just want to see someone like that win. And I think how cool would that be? That's like, oh, the mutant is Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, I promise you, nobody would be mad. It would be one of those things where you're gonna have your shit talkers like with everybody,
Everyone, yeah.
but I think the respect of it all,
I
you
agree.
cannot not give this man the respect that he literally, like I said, it wasn't given. He literally had to work for this. I mean, we all saw how he started off, so it's
Mhm.
kind of like, bro, you mean to tell me that physique turned into a Mr. Olympia, and all he had to do was put blood, sweat, and tears and work ethic into a sport, and that's what got him a win. That is what, to me, deserves to be a champion. Like, because obviously in bodybuilding, genetics is huge. He has a genetic proponent. He can get shredded, he can get really big, but he's turned the least amount of genetics into the most crazy shit ever. It's like, dude, some people are just, they fucking pick up a weight and they're fucking massive. Like, Nick didn't have that. Like he
Mhm.
had to do everything you said, be militant and all that shit. That's bodybuilding. That gives anybody in this world, well, mostly anybody with some decent genetics, to be able to be Mr. Olympia compared to like, well, this guy is born with a small ass waist and can put some muscle on, so he's gonna get Mr. Olympia. You know what I'm
So
Nobody.
saying? So
There've never been anybody who's done the most with their genetics as much as Nick. I don't think there've been. Have there been anybody who's taken almost 10 years to turn pro that has been top three? I mean, that's not something that happens. Usually, it happens pretty fast, right? If you're going to be a top Olympian, you kind of see it right away. Nick, being from the East Coast, people were looking at Nick like, oh, this guy's not okay. I had Nick on a podcast before he was pro, right? There were people questioning his ability to be able to turn pro. Just think about that. Like,
oh
I
yeah,
don't think
I
that guy.
don't you
Yeah,
remember when Boston Lloyd was like he's the fridge, he's this, he's that. You know,
yeah,
like I was there in like 2018, 2019, 2020 when he was with Condemned Labs, he was with Iron
yeah. I
Rebel.
remember that.
I remember at the one of the LA Fit Expos, he was there for Iron Rebel. And I knew who he was, but there was nobody in line. He was just standing there at the booth. And I was like, I forgot who I was with. One of my buddies was like, bro, that's Nick Walker. Like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And I ended up talking to him for like an hour, and nobody was in line to meet him. The next year, he wins the Arnold. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he literally came from nothing, being nobody. And but I will say though, I look at Samson's story, and it's equally as inspiring. Like 4 or 5 years ago, he was working construction, wasn't even like really into bodybuilding. He is very open about like how he would work a 12-hour shift. He would train after, he would meal prep on the grill. Like, and I love how it's just like him and his wife against the world. I love that story. She's been with him since day one, which I really, really like. I think that's really, really just genuine. And then me and Joe, we both love Samson too, because like we've met Samson and we all know how good of a human Samson is. And not only that, like look how good he's done as an ambassador for the sport, like guest posing. He's traveling all year round. Even something like how we talked about last podcast, Brady, he's literally letting another competitor live with him and he's 5 weeks out just to help the guy. He doesn't have to do that. Like, you know, and he's just a very, very kind-hearted human. He's very humble, and he has the physique to back it up. And it's hard to not root for a guy like that too.
Yeah, like Joe said,
exactly.
like if Nick wins, right, everybody's gonna be happy. Same when Samson won,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was happy, right? Different stories, but both. I mean, even a hater, like I'm not saying Bob is a hater, but they had their back and forth. I promise you, if Nick would win, Bob would be the first one to be like, "Yo, good shit." Like that was good. You know, like he I'm sure he would give him his respect. You know, to go to Samson, I think Samson has been the best ambassador as a Mr. Olympia. So, I mean, since Jay. I mean, who I don't think we've had. No, I don't think we've had an ambassador that put in this much work as far as guest posing and traveling and YouTube content. YouTube wasn't as popular back then, but content, guest posing.
Not only that, too, like he's been with Hostile since the very beginning, and like he probably could have left, or I mean, I'm sure they take care of him, but like he's rocked with Hostile ever since the beginning. Like when he was not even winning shows. Then he wins Arnold. Then he wins Olympia, and he's still just rocking with Hostile, and he's rocking with like Fuad. He's rocking with his wife, and like he just seems like no matter how much success he's got, he's still the same person at his core, you know, which is really cool to see.
He still responds to my DMs, which is that's not something you need to do or you have to do, or I don't think most Olympia champions would. Even open their DMs for the most part, you know. So that's that. I think that's super impressive. I'm still seeing him do like random podcasts, like not like a huge podcast. I saw him do a couple. So I mean, I think he's the best ambassador we had as an Olympia champion since. I gotta say since Jay. I don't think Phil was bad, but I think Samson's doing just off of one title. I think he's doing a better job
for sure
than anybody since Jay. Yeah, so that's impressive. Yeah, I would definitely love to see Nick win. I think the story is good, and then having different Olympia champions, I think is better for the sport.
I mean, how cool would it be if like it was Nick and Samson top two, and then like maybe Nick beats him this year. Samson comes back, beats Nick. Nick comes back, and it's like it's kind of like Kai and Phil, or like Jay and Ronnie, but it's like they're both winning. So it's like Nick and Samson are the top couple guys, and then it's so exciting, bro. Because you see guys like Martin, who's like 28 or hella young. You see guys like Jordan. You see guys like Joe. The next crop of guys that's really coming up. It's like, man, imagine what that top five is going to look like 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey, did we do our official predictions for Italy?
I don't think so. No,
I did on another podcast.
We can do ours real quick, Beatty. Me and you.
Is there a official competitor list out? The
Not
official
yet.
one?
Not yet, but you should know the main names.
We do. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I was gonna say they do it the Monday of the show, the week.
Wait, when is the show, bro?
It's next
It's like 2 weeks out. Yeah.
It's next weekend.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I feel like this show been in the works for so long.
Because it went, and there's a lot of hype behind it. So
it was 4 weeks. It was 4 weeks after Texas. So it's actually there was quite a bit of time before. So
okay, well, I guess we would have to do top five. I don't think
we'll do top five. I'm gonna say. Wait, let me try to remember who's doing it. So Mark Hector, Lewis Breed,
Sergio,
Quint, Sergio, and who else? Joe, am I missing?
Fucking Tim Budesheim, I think. Theo something.
Yeah.
And then that Stefan guy, from Classic.
Oh yeah. Wild card. Him and are just huge wild cards.
I'm gonna say Quint is gonna take it. I'm gonna say Mark Hector is gonna get. No, I'm gonna say Sergio is gonna get second. Mark Hector third, fourth and then Lewis Breed fifth.
That was my exact
really?
order. Yeah,
really.
Oh yeah, because I know Sergio is really, really good, and he's going to be one of the more heavily muscled guys. He does look like he's in really good shape. I think Quint is going to just have the best shape. He's going to be the most peeled he's ever been. And this is his third show. I think they're going to nail it. I think Sergio will probably be battling him in a close second. And then third, Mark Hector has very similar shape to Quint, I feel like. Not as tall, not as big, but just a very shapely, bubbly guy. And I think he's going to be a little bit too much for Urs. And then I think Urs, although he's probably going to be a little bit undersized just based off his conditioning and his shape, I think he's going to do very well. And then I think he beats Lewis Breed because he has better shape and probably better conditioning. And then Lewis Breed is a safe pick for fifth.
I'm going to go Quint. I'm going to go Mark. I'm going to go Sergio, Urs, and Stefan.
Ooh.
And I got Mark over Serge just because I feel like Mark's condition, it looks like it's really fucking good, and it's been good for a while. He's been peeled for some time now, and the fact that he still looks so bubbly and dense, and his legs look so much bigger, because he took an injury in the place where he could have taken an injury, which is his shoulders, which is crazy already. And he was able to focus on legs, which is kind of what he needed to do anyways. So the injury, as crazy as it sounds, didn't hurt. Besides his posing, it kind of benefited him. His shoulders look exactly the same. Maybe a little imbalance from left to right. He poses around it. And then his legs just got bigger. So that the surgery just made his legs bigger. Made it more
Didn't
balanced.
that happen with, didn't both, what's his name? Antoine Vaillant and, what's the other guy's name? We just said his name earlier. Did he tear his biceps? Yeah. Didn't they both tear their biceps and they look better after?
Yeah.
Their biceps?
I think
it gives it like a better peak.
Yeah.
I think Nathan tore both, he said?
Yeah,
Right?
Nathan
Oh
tore both, yeah.
Holy shit. I think Anton might have torn both. I think he tore one.
He tore both.
And then he tore another one, like
right after the 120.
Oh, you know what?
He tore the other one.
That's
crazy. You know what I bet's gonna happen, Joe, tomorrow when they drop that list? I bet you James is gonna be on it.
For sure.
Oh, that's right.
Sure.
I forgot about that.
For sure.
For
sure.
Hey, he for sure knocks out Breed if that's the case. He'll sure get at least fifth.
Yeah.
I actually see him beating Urs too.
And Mark, in my opinion. I feel like he'd be right up
there. Yeah, he'd be third. Yeah. Yeah, I see that third.
James' issue is finding the fullness with the peeled look. He once again, if he wanted to, he could be peeled to the bone easily. But it's the balance, right? It's for him finding the fullness with the condition. And anytime he could have the good balance, he's gonna beat most of these. I mean, he could beat all those guys. I mean, if he's 100% like full and shredded, you know.
He hasn't been able to mimic that year that he won the 2 pro shows, huh?
I don't think so.
Yo, for the gram.
Yo.
Well, let me do it again. I don't want to do my boy Joe dirty like that.
Joe, come on. You got to put the face on.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Boom.
There we go.
Joe got that light skin face. Look.
Yeah, I saw her peep. No, I mean, yeah. With that look, I think he could win the whole show. You know, granted, I mean, if Quint is like peak to perfection, then he wins. But let's say if Quint was the same as Texas, you know, because
do you think I don't talk to James like that or nothing, but when it came to Patrick Tour, like, did he just like stop kind of listening to Patrick and kind of do his own thing, and that's why the look was never able to be duplicated, or did they just have a falling out, or what the fuck happened?
Well, he was working with Stefan too.
From how it sounds when he talks, it sounds like he's always kind of coaching himself, because he right, like when he talks on like Bro Chat and stuff, or the other podcast, it sounds like he's always kind of making the last call no matter what. So it's like, I mean, he's he's kind of working with the coaches. I don't know to what extent.
I think he actually worked with Patrick Tour the whole way through for those two shows, and then kind of decided to do his own thing after that.
Yeah,
Well, kind of
yeah,
like what
yeah.
you're saying, but I think he actually listened to him. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't talk to him like that, but that's what I gathered from it. I don't know. But I was just
You
curious, like,
you can't work with Patrick Tour if you're not following 100%. He won't work
well,
with
that's
you,
why. Yeah.
which might be maybe we don't know, but which might be the falling out to begin with. I don't know. But yeah, Patrick Tour, he just won't work with you if you don't follow it. So it seemed like on social media they had a little bit of falling out, but then James kind of like apologized, like he feels like so. But I thought that was his best look by far. I think some people can coach themselves, and I think some people should not coach themselves.
I mean, the worst thing you could do is listen to somebody and make your own decisions in the mix because it doesn't really
Exactly.
go nowhere. Like, I
Mm-mm.
mean, if I'm going to commit to somebody, I'm going to do what you said. And then if you fuck it up, okay, I'll take over till I find someone else or something. But like to be told something, check in with that person, but then like be doing my own thing, it doesn't really make any
You gotta do like
sense,
one or
right?
the other. Either follow the plan or do your own thing.
Or follow your own plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The more I talk to bodybuilders or more bodybuilders, the more I understand why most bodybuilders can't coach themselves because of the emotional connection. Like we talked about earlier, I love bodybuilding, but I don't have an emotional connection to the stage part. To the part I like, just loving bodybuilding, I love, but it's different when a lot of people have like people lose a show. I've seen people flip the fuck out. Like they, fuck this, I'm gonna retire, I'm gonna beat the judges up, all that shit. Like, if you have that much emotion to your placing, I don't think you should coach yourself because you're gonna be too right. You're gonna be too at the end, and you're gonna be too sporadic. Like you're not gonna. So, I think somebody like James, I don't think he should coach. I don't think he coaching himself. It hasn't produced the best look. Basically, is what I'm saying. So I don't know.
Well,
Compton was able to coach himself. Dennis Wolf was able. Some people can, but Compton seemed very. I mean, he
stoic.
had a. Yeah, he never looked emotional when it came to coaching himself. It was not. Compton seemed like he had no emotions when it came to the prep. There was no emotional decision. So if you can do that, if you can have no emotion towards the prep, then you can probably coach yourself. But you have to really know yourself in that way.
boys, I'm gonna go get this meal in. Starving, getting real
Yes,
close to this
sir.
Olympia. Getting that death mode. So I gotta, your boy got to eat. But I just want to say, this is probably one of my favorite podcasts that we've done because I feel like we talked a lot about bodybuilding, the current landscape. We talked about predictions. We've talked about we answered some questions. I think this was just like a super, super chill podcast, and I just love the energy and I love the vibe that us three have. And I definitely want to get more people on here, but like us three, I really do enjoy the synergy that we have.
If we can keep a consistent time that I know of, that I can base my day around the podcast. That's the issue when we try to figure out a time in the middle of the week and stuff. Because I set stuff up like today. I made this because my deep tissue guy was like, "Hey Joe, did you want to reschedule?" I was like, "It depends, bro." Like he worked on me earlier in this week, so and I'm still good. But normally I get worked on Sundays. I was like an emergency one, and I cancel on him and like now I can do the podcast. But originally I wasn't gonna be able to do it. That's why I was able to make it. But if I had a time that if we do a time that's consistent, I can
Let's do
schedule
that.
things around it. Yeah, that way I
Well,
don't have to miss.
we could always
Let's
set it up
chat.
for Sundays and then like have it be like, after say 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. That way it's like, okay, Sunday afternoon between 3 and 6 is going to be around when we do it.
Yeah,
Let's
anything
chat.
after 3 p.m. and on would for sure be the
Yeah,
best for me.
same here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, let's chat in the group chat. Jordan was actually supposed to be on today. He couldn't make it, so maybe probably next Sunday. I didn't look at the text, but probably next Sunday he'll be on,
Ooh,
which would be good. And then
that'd be awesome.
Ken, I think Ken. But with the time, I think Ken has to do earlier is the issue. But we'll figure it out. I'm sure once it's a set time, I think it'll be easier for everybody to be like, oh, it's gonna be this time. Okay, I'm gonna keep that open or whatever the case is. So
Yeah,
all right, let's go from there. Because Ken and Jordan, that would have been
That would
nice
have been
too.
nice. Yeah. For
So
sure.
let's we'll figure it out. We'll
Hell
talk.
yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
okay,
all
for
right,
sure.
guys. Nice
All
talking
right,
to y'all, man.
boys. Yeah. Have a good
Always a
rest of
pleasure,
your Sunday.
guys. Hope to hang
Yep.
out with you.